friendo, Steve here. Welcome back to the channel. So Backlash 2022 happened last night, and if you missed it, hey, guess what? I'm here to tell you everything you missed. If you didn't miss it, if you did watch it, guess what? You can just sit here and watch me talk about it, because I'll be honest with you, it was a pretty fun show. Before we dive into it, do me a huge favor, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and hey, if you don't like the video by the end of it, you can just take that thumbs up away. In any event, let's hop into it. First up, just my general overview of Backlash. Look, going into it, felt like a pretty inconsequential show. Usually WrestleMania Backlash is a pretty inconsequential show. If you remember last year, we had zombies at the show, which, whatever. Anyways, this year, a couple more items of note happened, perhaps. Last year, we had like the tag teams changing hands from, Ziggler and Rhodes over to the Mysterios. This year, we had the SmackDown Women's Championship go from Charlotte Flair to Ronda Rousey, and in the process, Charlotte Flair broke her arm in kayfabe. Number one, this was a really good match. The feud, the build has been terrible. Ronda is not that compelling of a personality when she's on the TV screen. But man, oh man, they really busted their asses last night to make a memorable match. This went all over the arena, or it went up in the crowd and back. There were a bunch of interesting callbacks, like there was a bit where Ronda was put between the handrail up in the crowd, and the same way that Sasha put Charlotte through the handrail and then tried to bend her back and won the title like years and years ago. So there was a bunch of cool, interesting callbacks like that. They actually put a lot of thought into this match, and it was pretty good. Of course, it was the I Quit match, and Charlotte in the end, she wouldn't tap out, even though her arm was in an arm bar through a chair, and Ronda Rousey took that opportunity to say, all right, I'm happy you didn't say I quit. And then she cranked the arm, indicating she broke it. Charlotte says, I quit. And so Ronda, for the first time, is a SmackDown Women's Champion. Well deserved for that match. Hopefully, maybe this will spark some sort of, creative fire underneath Ronda Rousey, and she'll be able to bring it a bit better. I'm hoping that once Shayna Baszler is done with this tag team thing with Natalya and Sasha and Naomi, maybe we can actually get a Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler feud. How cool would that be? I think that'd be pretty cool, right? I think they'd both bring it because they're like best friends. So that could be kind of cool. Other thing to note in this match, it does appear that Charlotte Flair has been written off TV for a little while. Maggie, one of our amazing mods over at WrestleJuice or at MF Steve here and Going in Raw, had speculated that maybe, just maybe, she's going to be getting married this summer. That's what Charlotte indicated in her social media. So maybe she's going to go and get married to El Idolo and then come back. Who knows? Maybe around Money in the Bank. Maybe even as late as SummerSlam. I don't know. She deserves a break. She's been doing a lot of work. Whether you like Charlotte or not, man, she holds it down. Moving on. The first match that actually kicked us off was Cody Rhodes versus Seth freaking Rollins. This was a match that was probably better than their WrestleMania match. More counters for both guys. And of course, in the end, Cody gets the win over Seth with the handful of tights, which is something Seth tried to do moments earlier, rolling him up with the handful of tights. Cody reverses that, grabs the tights, and gets the win. And Seth's like, oh my God, this guy is not above using my own dirty tricks against me. What am I going to do next? This feud seems like it's ripe for Hell in a Cell. Be kind of interesting if they bring Cody in for 3 straight wins over Seth Rollins. So I got to think about how that Hell in a Cell match is going to go down, if that's the case. Or if Cody's simply going to move on. I don't know. You got to figure if Roman's going to drop that Raw title, Money in the Bank is going to be very, very interesting to see how they approach this. Because there's any number of people who could pick that up depending on what they're going to do for the actual title match at Money in the Bank. But, that's far in the future. This was a hell of a match. These guys got excellent chemistry. They've been going hard using Cody Rhodes, man. There's this win here, and then during the show, they had a whole commercial for Money in the Bank in the big stadium there in Vegas, and Cody Rhodes was the guy who was at the forefront there. He was the one narrating and sort of guiding that commercial. So kind of interesting. Next up, we had Omos beating Bobby Lashley. This one, everybody sort of telegraphed, or we sort of knew what was going to go down here. MVP is now with Omos, and what did MVP do so wonderfully back when he was with Bobby Lashley? secure the W's for Bobby Lashley. Now he's doing the same thing for Omos in this situation. He whacked Bobby Lashley in the head with a cane when the ref wasn't looking. That led to Omos dropping his finish on Bobby Lashley. Also of note, Omos was able to break the Hurt Lock. Granted, he did it by ramming Bobby Lashley into the corner, but this is the first time I can think of that Bobby had actually had it locked in and somebody was able to get out of it. I could be wrong about that, but it's still pretty notable for Omos. It's a big win for him. I fully expect Lashley to run it back and get the win. Maybe they're not going to do this inside of Hell in a Cell. They shouldn't. I don't want to see Omos stumbling around in a Hell in a Cell. That'd be a waste of that match. Next up, we had Edge beating AJ Styles with all sorts of shenanigans. First, Damian Priest, number one, another phenomenal match. Damian Priest comes out and he points at the border of like what ringside actually is, but it still distracts AJ, so it sort of loses the point of Damian Priest being barred from ringside. Finn Balor attacks. While all that's happening, a new mystery person shows up and shoves AJ off the top, and then that allows Edge, Blue Edge, to get the win with the submission. He puts him in like a bulldog choke, and AJ passes out. The mystery person is then revealed to be Rhea Ripley. This had been reported a little bit about Rhea Ripley joining Edge's faction. She dyed her hair black, so that symbolizes, hey, I'm a bad guy now. So does that. That kind of makes sense. Now it seems like AJ and Finn need to pick up the services of a woman to help combat Rhea Ripley. Perhaps if they do some sort of 6-man mixed tag type situation. Liv Morgan seems natural for that spot, so expect that to happen soon. The Rhea Ripley thing was reported by Fightful, and I believe Charlotte being written off TV was also reported by Fightful. I don't have it in front of me, so that I might be wrong about that. But that's look, man, Fightful's great. They always have the scoops. Next up, I talked about this Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. Can't say enough good things about this match. This was a lot of fun. It says according to Wikipedia, it was 16 minutes, 35 seconds. Man, it was a brutal, brutal match. And Ronda Rousey made Charlotte Flair say, I quit. After that, we had Madcap Moss versus Happy Corbin. I'm speculating here. Vegas is coming up in July for Money in the Bank. We've started to see Happy Corbin not be so happy. Moss has been eviscerating him on the mic verbally. He beat him in the match last night. Corbin cannot get a leg up on his former lackey, on the guy he hired just to tell jokes. I feel like we might be getting bum-ass Corbin again come Vegas. Pat McAfee's been referencing bum-ass Corbin. I think it's sort of percolating again. People are going to see bum-ass Corbin again. He won everything in Vegas, and then a year later, he loses everything in Vegas again, mainly because perhaps Madcap Moss. This could be a lot of fun. Madcap Moss, a lot of fun in the ring. He won with a sunset flip pin, and it was really smooth. This guy's very explosive in the ring. I'm all in on Madcap Moss, man. I think they've been doing a good job adding some layers to his character, adding some depth to his persona. Now you got to take him to the next step. Maybe drop the name Madcap. I don't know what they're going to do with him. Maybe he's just going to keep on telling jokes. Who knows? But I really like Madcap Moss, and I thought this was a really fun match, and it was a good showcase for Madcap Moss. And Corbin, he got a bunch of his shit off, but man, he was desperate and depressed the entire match. It was good stuff. That leads to our main event. The Bloodline versus the RK Bro and Drew McIntyre. I'm surprised they didn't give them sort of temporary name as a 3-guy unit. I don't know. So anyways, I'd figured that Drew and RK Bro would win this, but if you look at the go-home math on SmackDown, they have gotten the best of the Bloodline at every step of the way. So this actually made a lot of sense. Roman Reigns, of course, would pin Matt Riddle. This was a wildly fun match. I'd figure one of the Usos was going to take the loss here and Roman would then berate them, but no. Bloodline picks up the win here. So they look great. It seems like Drew McIntyre, maybe he's like, hey, you didn't pin me. I've had your number. Let's run it back from Survivor Series a couple years ago. Let's do that at maybe Hell in a Cell or maybe Money in the Bank. I don't know. But yeah, this was a really, really, really fun match. Randy Orton had a bunch of great spots with a bunch of RKOs out of nowhere. And there was a bunch of stuff that went on the outside of the ring. It was a lot of fun. You just got to check this match out. It was like a 22-minute match. And so, yeah, the Bloodline win. And I don't know what's going to happen next. I mean, they're not doing tag title unification, so that's probably not. So who knows what's going to happen on Raw tonight? I don't know. What do you guys think? Did you guys watch Backlash? Do you care about this pay-per-view? I know a lot of people seem like not care about this pay-per-view because it's a B-level pay-per-view that was like by and large rematches. But it was pretty good. WWE does that a lot. They'll like have these non-consequential pay-per-views, and then the shows end up being like really good. Not a bad match on this card. So yeah. Anyways, that's what I think. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, everybody. Check out one of these other videos over here. And oh, look at that. We got a guest today. Let's see if she'll pay attention. Bug. What's this? What's this? What's this, Chip? What's this? She just moved her arm. She said, "Leave me alone, Dad." All right. Anyways, go check out one of these videos.